Did you guys like that intro? It's pretty nice, isn't it? Peaky B, I'm not sure what server he's in anymore, but Peaky B made me this intro a few months ago. So thank you to Peaky B. I'm using it finally, okay? Salutations, Sentinels. My name is Natsu, aka. Uh, well, actually, I didn't even prepare an aka name for this video, but that's okay. I'm going to be teaching you guys about penetration today and why penetration. Never mind, I'm not even going to make the joke. The gear penetration. Okay, so first, we're going to go to all the goodies and we're going to start with jewelry, right? So the very first one we have is the Devil's Touch. It gives you a 6% base penetration. The Holy Grail gives you a 3%, or I'm sorry, 4% base penetration, and a Tangling gives you a 6% base penetration. Oh shit! I just got accepted back into a steal. Oh god. Anyways, weapons are next. We've got the Wild Rose. It's got the 4% base penetration. And then we got the infantry weapon, the Truth, which also has a 4% base. The Swallow, which has the least amount, 3%. Alkyd, and that has a 4% base. And the new one, Aldebaran, which has 4%. And then we're also going to go to the Infantry Jewel Andromeda, and it gives you 10% base penetration with a 3% or with a 3 set. And then last but not least, we're going to scroll down to the Dawn Hole, which gives you 15% penetration at level 1 Dawn Hole. Okay, so I made this chart here to show you all the gear that we have that has penetration and exactly what percentage of penetration it has at every level starting at level 30. Now there's a reason why I'm starting it at level 30. So at level 30, with the right gear, it gives you 80% penetration. And 80% penetration is when the damage becomes better than 2 perfect titans. So, and I want to show you the difference because a lot of people I don't really think understands this. Because when they look at penetration, they can say, oh, 6% penetration on a Devil's Touch isn't that much more than 4% penetration on a Holy Grail, or the base 4% penetration on all the weapons isn't that different than a Swallow, which only has 3% penetration. But in all actuality, it is actually a huge difference as it goes up in level. So at level 30, we can see here that the Devil's Touch and the Tangling is 24%, but the Holy Grail is only 16%, even though the base percentage level is only 2% difference. And it's the same thing with all the penetration weapons, right? So all the penetration weapons besides the Swallow starts at 4%, and the Swallow only starts at 3%. But you can see here that there's a 4% difference in the penetration amount. And it just gets, and the gap gets even higher as time progresses on. You can see that slowly but surely increases until it gets to low 50, and you have 6% more penetration on the Alkyd than you do the Swallow, or you have a whole 12% more on the Devil's Touch than you do on the Holy Grail. So that's one of the things I wanted to show you. And then, you can factor in the Dawn Hole and Andromeda depending on if you actually even need, the hole and the gem to get 100% penetration, because 100% penetration does an insane amount of damage. I went from 95% penetration on Just Me's gear to 100% penetration, and I did 300 million more damage with the 100% penetration than I was doing with the 95%. So 100% penetration, it definitely is a game-changing amount of gear. Now, what I did here on the back was I ranked the gear in order from the most cost efficient, but also the best for penetration values. So for the headgears, I put the Devil's Touch at number 1 because the Devil's Touch isn't really that hard to get. It's definitely easier than the Tangling, and you need you need a Holy Grail for a Tangling, right? And the Holy Grail only gives 16% penetration. So I definitely put the Holy Grail at number 3 because of how little penetration it actually gets. And I put the Tangling in number 2 because even though it is more expensive, you do get that extra penetration amount, and it has damage reduction on top of that. And for the weapons, I put Wild Rose at the number 1 spot because Wild Rose can literally be used on any commander, whereas the Truth, where it has the same amount of penetration and they're both just as easy to get, the Truth only works on infantry type troops. So it'll work on, tier 1 through 7 infantry, tier 9 through 12 infantry, but it won't work on any sub-base infantry. So you know how you have tier 9, tier 10 walkers in their infantry sub-base? The Truth will not work on that. The only stats that apply to tier 9, tier 10 walkers, or any walkers, is walker gear, even if they have a sub-base. So just keep that in mind when you get the Truth, thinking that it would be good for penetration when in fact they actually can't even work for your unit type. I put the Alkite at number 3 because even though it also takes a Swallow and 2 Wild Roses, I believe, to craft, like I said, it's still got a much higher penetration value than the Swallow does. So Alkites are definitely more efficient as it upgrades in level than the Swallow is, because you have to take a Swallow all the way to level 50 before it actually even starts to become good. So, and I put Aldebaran at the very last because I don't know the cost of it. Actually, I do. I know what resources it costs, but I don't know how much 7 Pirates is going to, charge for collecting the blueprints. I can assume that's going to be a lot because it's a brand new weapon and everything. But there's just a couple math things I want to show you, right? So I'm going to show you the math here about what I'm talking about when you're trying to get 100% penetration. So let's start off with 80% penetration, right? Because I said that's what you need to start being good, right? So at level 30 for the Devil's Touch, you have 24. And then let's say 2 Wild Roses, right? Plus 16. Plus another 16. That's 56%, right? Now let's add on the Dawn Hole and Andromeda, which is another 25%. That just gets you past the threshold of 80%. It gives you 81% penetration. So that right there, at level 30 gear, for the Devil's Touch and 2 Wild Roses, along with the Dawn Hole and Andromeda, you get 81% penetration, okay? So it's really not that hard to get besides the gear. The gear is more expensive to get than Titans are, but overall penetration starts to do more damage at level 30 than 2 perfect Titans. So yeah, and then let me show you this here as well. So let's start with the Swallow. Let's do the Swallow instead. So we have 24% penetration for the Devil's Touch, and then another 24% for 2 Swallows equals 48%, plus another 25%. So that only gives you 73% penetration. So yeah, you're going to have to upgrade the Swallow. See, even at level 35, it only gives you 1% more. So let's just add, what is that? That's 3%. So add another 3% for 2 Swallows. That's only 76 still. All right, let's add another 3% because that's about what it is. Oh, whoops, I messed that up. Oh well, we messed that up. It's fine. But yeah, so you see that right there. Now to get 100% penetration, with the Dawn Hole and Andromeda, I'll show you, you're going to want to use either the Devil's Touch or the Tangling. So 33%, right? Plus, let's go with the Wild Roses again because it's easy, cheap, and affordable. So we're going to do add 22%, 22%. So you need 2 pieces of gear at level 45. And then you only need 1 piece of gear at level 40. So let's add another 20% to that. So that's 75%, right? So next you add the Dawn Hole and the Andromeda. So that's another 25% from you get from those jewels, and that gives you 100% penetration. Now, if you wanted to go this route and say, hey, I don't want to waste my jewels on a 3-piece Andromeda set because I'm airship or walkers, then what you would have to do is, I believe you would have to have 1 piece of gear at level 50. Let's see. So level 50 Devil's Touch is 36. And then 2 Wild Roses. So that's 44. Yeah. And then, oh, even then. So you would definitely have to take one of the Wild Roses up to, yeah, you would have to take 2 of the Wild Roses up to level 50. So that's 36 plus 24, right? That's 60. Let's see. Let's add another 22% because of the level 45. And then plus 15. Yeah, even then, you would still need all 3 pieces of gear to be level 50, right? But now, let me show you this with the Swallow, okay? So we take the Devil's Touch, say level 45 with the Devil's Touch. So that's 33%. Plus 2 Swallows at level 45. Let's get both of them are level 45. So 16.5 plus another 16.5. And then let's add the Dawn Hole and Andromeda. That's 20. Actually, erase that. Let me do that again. It's 33 plus 16.5. All right, that's 66 plus another 25 from Andromeda and Dawn Hole. That only gives you 91%. So all 3 pieces of gear at level 45 only gives you 91% penetration. So let's do the penetration level of 3 level 50 gear pieces. So that's the Devil's Touch, which is 36%. And the Swallow at 18% times 2. That's still only 72%. Even with the Dawn Hole and Andromeda, that gives you 97. You're still 3% short. However, even now here's this. You get I believe 2%. No, yeah, 2% bonus for having level 50 gear. So if you did the Swallows, which is 36 plus 36, right? 72. You multiplied that by, you multiplied that by 1.1. That's 10%. So that comes out to 79 with the Dawn and Andromeda Hole. That's what gives you 104% penetration. So you need all 3 pieces of gear to be at level 50 in order for you to get 100% penetration. So that's why Swallow I ranked as number 4th in the penetration weapons, because honestly, getting your gear to level 50 is an insane amount of gold, melange, bots even, and just it takes a lot of time to get to level 50. You need all 3 of those to be level 50 before you get 100% penetration, and that is including the Dawn Hole and Andromeda. Now I don't know if I showed the penetration of the Devil's Touch with Wild Roses at level 50, so I'm going to do that right now just in case. So 36 plus 2 roses, which is 48, right? That's 84 times 1.1, which will increase it by 10%, right? Then all you need is the Dawn Hole. And then boom, you have 107% penetration, and you don't even need to use Andromeda. So you can literally throw a completely different jewel set on there. But if you're infantry main, you could keep Andromeda on there and you'll still get 102% penetration. And then you could use a different hull other than Dawn. Let's say you want to use Armageddon for the extra trigger rates for Stella or something, or you want to use Aegis maybe to make your troops a little more tanky. You could do that too. But yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to show. And it's kind of the same way with the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail has the same amount of penetration as every one of the penetration weapons besides the Swallow, because the Swallow's got the least. It's 3% base. Holy Grail is 4% base. So you could basically do the math from there. You could add up these values. This is the percent increase with the bonus. I did these all at level 50. This is with all 5 gear pieces being at level 50. So you have to have a full gear set. That's what I was trying to say. For you to have 100% penetration with the Swallow, you have to have all 5 gear pieces at level 50 to get a 10% gear bonus. So that's what I was actually messing up with. That's why it's so expensive. Your entire gear set, that means your headpiece, your 2 weapon slots, your chest piece, and your pants all have to be level 50% penetration for your Swallow to be able to get over that 100% penetration mark. So that's why I wanted to teach you guys about the Swallow and why it's actually not that good for low budget free-to-play players to use. If you're a low budget free-to-play player, Wild Rose is the great way to go. If you're an infantry main, definitely the Truth. If you're an infantry main, you're going to want to go with the Tangling because you don't get any benefits from the Devil's Touch at all. Like, it doesn't benefit your infantry troops, like I was saying. If you were running tier 11 airships, you could definitely use the Devil's Touch, but the Truth wouldn't benefit airships at all. So, and that's all I gotta say. I hope this guy's helped you out with the whole misconception about, well, not misconception, but lack of information about penetration weapons and how to exactly get to 100% penetration. And yeah, so I guess that's it. You guys enjoy your daily grind, and you guys have a good night. Bye.